data coming out today, personal income, consumer spending, and core price index data out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Construction spending and the ISM manufacturing data is out at 10 a.m. Then the Fed's Beige Book will be released at 2 p.m. In Asia, the market traded mostly higher today following President Donald Trump's address to U.S. lawmakers. In Japan, the Nikkei 225 closed up 274.55 points. In Australia, the benchmark ASX 200 closed down 7.4 points. And data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics showed the country's fourth quarter gross domestic product grew 2.4% annually, beating expectations of a 1.9% increase. In Hong Kong, the Hang Seng Index was up 0.19% in late afternoon trade. Chinese mainland shares closed up with the Shanghai Composite advancing 4.90 points and the Shenzhen Composite gained 7.54 points. The South Korean market was closed for a public holiday. Away from the markets in India, the country is retaining the title of the world's fastest growing major economy. That was today after its GDP growth came in at a robust 7% at the end of 2016, despite New Delhi's short cash crackdown. The outcome for the quarter to December defying expectations. Analysts had predicted a much lower rate of 6.4%. Prime Minister Narendra Modi made a decision in November to rid old 500 and 1,000 rupee notes, scrapping 86% of the cash in circulation almost overnight. The move aimed at fighting tax evasion and corruption has left small businesses across the country in disarray. And here in Africa, the International Monetary Fund has initiated discussions with Gabon towards a possible financial arrangement under the Extended Fund Facility. An IMF team which visited Libreville from February 14 to 28 noted that Gabon's medium-term economic prospects remain strong thanks to recent efforts to diversify the economy and attract investment in strategic sectors. However, the staff encouraged the authorities to continue to pursue this strategy, which would help the economy become more resilient to shocks and less dependent on its oil sector. IMF also sees government's intentions to reduce non-priority spending, increase allocations for priority social programs, address inefficiencies in public spending, and mobilize non-oil revenues as adequate. And General Motors Corporation plans to sell its majority ownership stake in General Motors East Africa to its Japanese partner Isuzu Motors Limited as the U.S. car maker continues to streamline by exiting non-core operations. Isuzu will acquire GM's 57.7% stake in the unit in Kenya, which produces trucks under the Isuzu brand and sells imported Chevrolet brand vehicles. More than 90% of the vehicles sold are Isuzu brand models. The Kenyan vehicle market is tiny, with total sales of about 30,000 vehicles a year. GM says divesting the stake in the Kenyan unit is a natural next step for the business and is consistent with the automaker's broader goal of refocusing capital on more profitable markets. And Malawi is investing about $10 million in the cultivation of industrial hemp, which is considered to have economic, medical, and nutritional value. While cultivating or selling of cannabis sativa is prohibited by law, government says the industrial hemp will help boost the economy. Industrial hemp and marijuana are from the same family of crops, but industrial hemp does not contain the psychoactive chemical agents found in marijuana.
At the Chitse Research Station in Lilongwe, trials on different varieties of industrial hemp are being conducted after Parliament allowed the Agricultural Department and Envigro, a local company behind the project, to carry out further research in 2015. The plant is used in a wide variety of products, from food to construction materials. Envigro says developing hemp provides an opportunity for the country to diversify from tobacco and will bring in more foreign exchange.
Without a proper diversification strategy, Malawi will be very, very constrained, because from the balance of payments point of view, the gap between our imports and our exports is widening. Imports are far much outstripping exports, so we need a diversification where we can bring in other export products or cash crops that can earn, or other ventures that can earn foreign exchange. And we believe that industrial hemp product lines have that potential for export market.
Malawi's kwacha came under pressure last year, partly from falling export revenues from the country's main crop, tobacco, as global commodity prices fell. The country plans to start cultivating industrial hemp commercially at the end of this year, but state experiments will continue in the meantime to identify low-drug varieties of the crop. Hemp is grown for its fiber oil, and it is used in textiles, construction and paper industries. Hemp seeds are also used to make cosmetics and food additives. Though experiments argue that industrial hemp does not induce intoxication in humans like marijuana, anti-drug campaigners view the initiative with suspicion. Nelson Mateo, the organization's executive director, argues that promoting industrial hemp in the country will create ambiguity on legislation against marijuana and threaten gains made in combating drug use in Malawi.
As soon as the member of Parliament who introduced this came out in Parliament, right away from that time up to now, young people are smoking, are using marijuana openly without any fear. That's just because of how the government is actually reacting to it. So that's the danger which we are fearing.
Industrial hemp is grown in about 40 countries around the world, with the main producers being China, Canada, Australia and Europe.
We'll be back after the break. To stay with us.